Hey there, everyone. This is Alcal. Alright, I'm just gonna say it right here, right at the start. There's not gonna be any gameplay today in this video, so you were warned. Much like when I did the Downpour series of playthrough, I feel like I have things to say, and I don't want to keep interrupting myself and have everything I want to say all jumbled up. So I'm taking a video to go through the lines, and the series is gonna start properly tomorrow. So thank you for indulging me, but I think a lot of this is important. So yeah, the full name of this thing: a Super Mario Bros. X thing and a second X thing featuring Super Demo Sister 2 and Make a Good Level, Lost Level, The Cutting Room Floor Archive is released. Very easy to say title. Henceforth, reduced to The Cutting Room Floor Archive. I think people will understand if we do that. TCRFA. It is what it sounds like. So, ASMBXT is a very long series at this point. Like, I forget the age of the first one, but, like, we're talking over a decade of several games being put together, and, you know, levels been produced for, and, like, all, you know, put together and whatnot. And this is Compile Essay Viewers. This is a collection of levels that were submitted for various MaGL ASMT projects, or posted on the Talkhaus Discord that never made it to an episode for various reasons. That's the whole thing. You might recall that during the Crimbles advent last February, basically this was the sort of like the final, like, this was the punchline, the final thing, I think, that was released, that was revealed to me. Although it turns out it needed still a little bit of work to be put together, but it is now complete. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the Talkhaus thread, because I feel like it goes into, like, it's basically a summary of the DM I got back then, but public facing. Let me just pull it up here. Same extreme extreme logo, but more transparent. Alright, I'm gonna read everything. If episode 3 doesn't end up happening, this was posted in 2024, maybe I'll dig up all the random submissions that fell through the cracks that I've saved and throw them in the pot. Otherwise, maybe I'll throw them together into a sort of lost levels things. And then, same year, several months later, haven't talked about this a lot, but I've finally been going through all those random levels files / submission that I've saved them over the years of doing ASMBXT, A2XT over the last week or two. And then Rixatic is like, so lost level incoming? And I guess it did. Around the start of the A2XT 2 LP, I mentioned in the spot zone, possibly the Talkhaus also, that there was a bunch of random level submissions from A2XT, ASMBXT that I had saved in a backup, and I should go through them in advance of an A2XT 3 or something. About 1 year and 2 zombie projects later, with the help of Rixie the Chow, Psy Ninja, and Thingy, I had taken everything I had and everything I could find and everything given to me and compiled it into an ASMBXT episode. It's structured more like a gallery with no story or progression gating. The general layouts of each world suggest an implicit order, but you can ultimately play them in whatever order you prefer. In the end, this episode features 161 levels with a total of 198 exits. I think that's still under MaGL X2, but it's getting there. It says, so there's a breakdown there. You can read that. No, some of these numbers may be wrong, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna skip the parentheses, that's fine. All levels were fixed up to be playable and integrated with the A2XT2 framework, with most levels given start of level notes documenting any minimal changes that were made and occasional other details about the level submission. Additional work was also taken to make graphics better match the author's intent, as the graphical assets had changed within the ASMBXT A2XT base game multiple times over the years, at least where feasible and within our best understanding. Default music was also changed for the same reason, though in some cases was changed for custom music that fit the level. Finally, there are a smattering of optional and unintrusive adjustments and quality of life additions to accommodate players. There is a download link. You may download it if you want. I'm giving anyone who's interested in playing this a 1-day head start. But the note here is important. If you're using the latest MaGL2, which would be, I think it's like beta 3, I'll look. Is there not a way to check what version this is? I guess not from here. Huh. But yeah, like, it needs to be specifically in a hot patch 3, too, if you haven't uploaded in a while. I know, because I gave it a try to give it a recording test, to test something, and everything was broken. And, like, so, this is absolutely nuts. Pause. Unpause. If I forgot, that's just gonna look weird. So that's a lot of levels, and, like, I was thinking about this a little bit. Like, for example, so there are levels that didn't make into the level. Like, is it all gonna be, like, a janky mess and something? And Tangy specifically told me that no. While there is going to be some janky messes, a lot of the levels, genuinely, some of them just fell through. They didn't get picked up. The method to submit a level during the history of the ASMBXT series, I was told was pretty specific, and so you have some genuinely good levels that just never got picked up because they, like, did a step wrong or did it the wrong way. And this is, I think, a really cool way to get them rescued and playable finally after all these years. And yeah, while the number is immense, I was told that there is a number of levels that are extremely short. Like, one screen type of deals. So it's not gonna be, like, that huge entirely. Although there will also be extremely huge levels too, I'm sure. Anything else I wanted to say? I feel like otherwise everything kind of speaks for itself. I asked if any of the authors mentioned above, like, sort of like the team that put this together, had anything else they wanted me to say in a first video like this. No one took the offer except for Rixie. So I'm going to open up Discord and get that. Alright, here we go. 3, 2, 1. These are the words of Rixidix, unless I say something. ASMBXT 2 TCRF started as a collection of rejected, lost, and unfinished levels submitted for the various MaGL ASMT projects over the years, all fixed up enough to be fully playable and integrated with the Episode 2 framework and given start of level notes documenting the minimal changes that were made and occasional other details about the level submission. The scope expanded a bit with the additional measures taken to restore the level as they would have been experienced at the time they were made submitted, at least where feasible and within our understanding, as well as some optional and unintrusive quality of life improvement to accommodate players sprinkled in. Oh, I guess that kind of ended up making it into the OP. I remember something, this is me talking, not Rix, mentioning, like, I believe that some levels were recreated using, like, screenshots in some cases. Like, they really tried to be as exhaustive as possible while maintaining, like, you know, the vibe and intents of the original. There is a this would be a shocking amount of work. Like, it is not just here's just the level files, fart, here you go. Alright, Rix continues. A handful of examples of the fix-up and restoration work involved. A lot of event-based dialogue, cutscenes, and scripted sequences were rewired or recreated in Lua to work properly due to quirks of A2XT2's custom dialogue system and inexplicable timing differences. Other A2XT2 gameplay features were temporarily disabled or selectively controlled when they conflicted with the level design. For example, the game repositioning the player over cliffs when talking to NPCs, or the invincibility assist setting breaking power-up filters. Deprecated SMBX 1.3 elements that no longer work properly were updated to their SMBX2 counterpart, and case-by-case fixes and workarounds were made for X2 elements that had level design breaking changes between X2 betas. Level reliant on base game graphics and sounds were made to use those instead of the ASMT assets, mainly in ASMBXT and MaGL X TLL levels that mention Mario characters and elements by name. Custom player graphics were recreated based on the new demo Iris and Raukau sprites, though several notable instances of classic MS Paint Raukau NPC sprites were left alone. Also, I got some game orientation here. So it's more like a gallery. There are NPCs in the hub for flavor, but no story or progression gating. Each section of the hub is laid out in a linear fashion, but it's not based on any sort of difficulty curve or anything. So ultimately, you can play them in whatever order you prefer. And the overworld previews and leak sanctuary info is combined into one pop-up when you step in front of a level entrance. There's separate doozy and jank warnings. I'm happy to know that. There's separate doozy and jank warnings to help you gauge one more level potential accordingly. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, thank you for that. That is very thoughtful. So yeah, and yeah, that was on Discord because I didn't know if they want, like, I don't want any, like, I don't know, recognizable element of Rixek to be visible if they don't want to. So just not taking a chance and not putting it here in the window. So yeah, I am super forward looking to this. This is going to be a blast. It's gonna be jank. It's gonna be painful at parts, I'm sure, but it's all super gonna be worth it. I don't know if there's going to be a future ASMBXT, but I am looking forward to ASMBXT 0 starting tomorrow.